হ্যালো ভিউয়ার্স, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। ঘুরবাজের সম্পূর্ণ নতুন একটি ভিডিওতে আপনাকে স্বাগত। আজ আমরা ঘুরে দেখাবো ওসমানীয় শাসন আমলের এক অপূর্ব নিদর্শন তোপকাপি প্যালেস। এটি তুরস্কের ইস্তাম্বুল শহরে অবস্থিত একটি রাজকীয় প্রাসাদ। যারা আমাদের চ্যানেলটি এখনো সাবস্ক্রাইব করেননি, অনুরোধ থাকবে চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করে বেল বাটনটি প্রেস করে পাশে থাকার জন্য।
Topkapı Palace right now. Here, there is a building older than Topkapı Palace. The Church of Hagia Irene. Hagia Irene means huge peace. It's built by the Byzantium Empire. It was here. It's here for more than 1,500 years. It's built by the Byzantium Empire, and when Ottoman conquered the city, they didn't rebuild it or they didn't destroy it. They didn't convert it to the mosque or something else. Just for a few years, they used it for different purposes. They collect some archaeological things in the church, and just they remove the cross at the top of the church and they replace Islamic moon at the top of the dome. But they didn't change something else. For the Christians, it has another importance. They believe that there is a grave of the Constantine behind of the church. Now let's walk in the first garden of the palace. This is the only area in Ottoman time where public or the guests could turn. After that gate, that's the second gate of the palace, we see the towers at the entrance of second gate. It seems like Hungarian architecture. If you visit Budapest in Hungary, you can see similar architecture there. This gate built by Sultan Süleyman, and the securities, the soldiers, were waiting into the towers. When they have a guest, they were hosting them into the towers till they get answer from inside about the meeting. On the all gates we will see signature, but of course not in the Latin alphabet. Today in Turkey we use only Latin alphabet, similar with the European alphabet, but Ottoman Empire had their own alphabet and they had different language. It's similar with Arabic but different, more different and difficult. So on each gate in the palace we will see signature of different sultan, but most of them is a signature of Sultan Abdülmecid, because Abdülmecid was the last sultan who lived in this palace. After him, he built the new palace, what I mentioned you, Dolmabahce Palace. Dörtte kapanıyor değil mi?
Dörtte girişi kesiyoruz, 5'e doğru boşaltılıyor.
Yeni yaptım. This is the second garden and the parliament of the palace. One of the most important parts. When the kitchen, what I mentioned you on that side, very big kitchen. They had sweet tarts, they had milk custard, they had tobacco and coffee. Under the dome, we see classical Ottoman art, classical Turkish Ottoman architecture even here. I told you that in this palace we will see typical classical Ottoman architecture in everywhere. They use too much gold for the design of the palace. Let's go this way. We are going to Imperial Council of the palace, the parliament. So we see a tower there. That tower is a judgment tower. It's the highest point of the palace to show that judge is the most important thing in the Ottoman Empire. They wanted to symbolize it with that. And on the way, we see the stone here at the corner. On the way, we will see three from this 1, 2, 3. They had a duty in Ottoman time. The soldiers were standing here in front of this stone. When Sultan is coming to the parliament, they were here for the salutation to the Sultan. Just, I want you to dream about it. Please. And the design of the palace. We are in the main section of the palace for the men. But where were the ladies? Where were the children and the women, wives of the sultans? There is another entrance. We call it harem. Harem is the Arabic word, means haram in Arabic, means forbidden. In the harem, the women, the ladies, always were on that side. They never came to main section of the palace. The top secret life of the palace is harem. Everybody wondering about the harem life. Because when Ottoman conquered new place, they took the young ladies and most beautiful ladies to keep them in the harem, and they gave them very good education, music education, how to be a kind lady, language education, everything. Because each of them is potential wife of Sultan. And firstly, when they came to harem, they work in the basic work like housekeeper, and they did anything what the mother of Sultan told them. And who chosen for the Sultan that night? If she could sleep with the Sultan, and if she could give a baby to the Sultan, she was going to upper degree. If this baby is a son, at the top of the harem system. Because of course Sultan never had a one lady. They had too many ladies in the harem. But most of them never saw a sultan in their life. They were just in the harem. But they married with another men around of the palace because they had good education, and those ladies were like good example, good symbol for the public. Let's continue. Yes, one of the most beautiful part of the palace is Parliament, Imperial Council. Yes, we are in the Imperial Council right now. Here we see classical Turkish Ottoman architecture on the walls. Those blue section, blue tiles. You will go to Bursa and you will see more from these tiles. Turkish tiles are the best of the world. Those made in Iznik. Iznik is a city near to Bursa. But mostly you will see blue, white and green colors on our tiles because we believe according to Islam they are symbolizing heaven. In Islamic buildings you will see most of these shapes, these designs, and also you will see tulip. You know tulip flower? Tulip. Tulip is a symbol of church. Today the world knows that it's Netherlands flower, but Netherlands took it from Turkey. In Ottoman time, everywhere was with tulip and also tulip shape of tulip flower, similar with the written of Allah, God in Arabic letters. That's why it's very important in our culture and in our architecture. We use everything. So there is a window, what I mentioned you, the secret window. When the member of the council had a meeting here, the sultan were behind of that window or not. They never know this and they always had to be careful what they are talking about. And in that time, there was a curtain to separate this room from the other side. When the members of council had a meeting here, on the other side, the writers were keeping the details of this meeting.